Mustang Morning News is a public forum for student expression. Students make all content decisions, and opinions do not necessarily represent those of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District.
E-bike safety is a top priority on campus with a new program to keep students in check on the road. Following a campus-wide diversity assembly in October, how is Costa High School handling reporting racism incidents? And with state testing season beginning next semester, how do students currently feel about it?
Welcome to the Mustang Morning News. I'm Raquel Bowen.
And I'm Gordon Jonas.
These stories and a new Costa Quiz are just ahead. E-bikes are more popular than ever for high schoolers at Costa. But with that popularity comes an increase in injury, as over 50% of e-bike accidents involve riders under the age of 18. MBUSD has recently adopted a new policy requiring all e-bike riders to complete a safety training course before riding on campus. Blake Diamond and I report on how that program is going.
In the heart of Manhattan Beach, a new initiative is taking shape, one to aim at ensuring the safety of our students who ride electric bikes or e-bikes to school.
At first, I was a little surprised that we needed this policy, but after I got a minute to think about it, I realized that it's really important for us to understand the rules of the road and make sure that we're safe on campus.
Beginning 2 weeks ago, the Manhattan Beach Unified School District implemented an e-bike safety program, requiring students to complete a safety course before they can park their bikes on campus.
Because we know that there is a safety concern for students to understand the power behind their e-bikes and to understand the dangers out there riding on the street and needing to be a defensive driver, especially when they're going in and out of traffic on the way to school.
Students will have the option to complete this training in person during scheduled classes or through online sessions with approved providers like Pedal Ace and eBike Sense.
I think it's going to be huge. I think the more kids that are educated and the more there's a big accountability piece now. You know, they get a sticker, and if they're maybe not riding safely out on the road, they may, with law enforcement, may get their sticker taken away.
After successfully completing the online course, students will receive a registration sticker, which must be displayed prominently on their bikes. This e-bike safety program isn't just about the school. It's part of a larger community effort. The district has already begun enforcing the e-bike program, with some students facing penalties for not completing it. Through this initiative, the district aims to foster accountability and responsibility among students.
Looking for the Costa Quiz? Well, here it is.
To play, go to our Instagram at Mustang Marine News and respond with your name and the answer to today's question for a chance to win a shout out from our account.
Here's today's question. How many people annually attend professional sports games in the U.S.? Is it A, 99 million, B, 104 million, C, 179 million, or D, 203 million?
Think you know the answer? Submit it through the response box on our Instagram story now at Mustang Marine News.
Racism affects 1 in 3 high school students in the United States. Jet Purser and Emma Gordon find out what it takes to report racism at Costa and why most incidents are swept under the rug.
Racism has not gone away for students nationwide, affecting their mental health, sense of belonging, and overall well-being. According to recent data, approximately 35% of U.S. high school students report experiencing perceived racism. The impact varies significantly by race and ethnicity, with around 64% of Asian students, 55% of Black students, and 54% of multiracial students reporting perceived racism in their school experiences.
Every other week, I hear something like that. So it's not uncommon at all.
At MiraCosta, students have options for reporting incidents like these through platforms such as Sprigio. Sprigio is an online anonymous tool that allows students to report any racism they encounter. Rhonda Morit, an expert in diversity and inclusion, emphasizes the importance of anonymity in reporting, saying that anonymous tools like Sprigio can encourage more students to come forward without fear, making it easier to address these problems effectively. Although Sprigio is one online reporting tool, there are many different avenues when it comes to reporting racism.
Actually, I know some of the psychologists, I talk to them, or I go to the admin or even the principal about it because they help.
Beyond Sprigio, students have multiple ways to report incidents of racism. They can approach teachers, counselors, or administrators directly, creating more opportunities to address concerns face-to-face. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Emma Gordon and Jet Purser.
Tests are something students have to deal with all the time, but there's one test with even more on the line. Every year, juniors take the CAS test, which measures school performance, and when students opt out, their district loses millions. McKenna King and Bryn Berry find out the lack of interest behind state testing.
State testing season occurs from March to May, and for Costa's 11th graders, that means exams in science, English, and math. These standardized tests are meant to gauge how well students are learning, but opinions on their effectiveness are mixed. These tests aren't just about student scores. They impact everything from school funding to local housing prices. California's standardized test results found that 35 met or exceeded standard for math, 30% met or exceeded standard for science, and 47% met or exceeded standards for language arts. These standardized tests are administered during a busy time of year due to upcoming finals and other standardized tests, which serve as highly important regarding college applications. The timing can add extra stress for students.
High school students are thinking more about the PSAT and the SAT. And so those standardized assessments aren't taken as seriously for high school students.
With all 50 states requiring assessments, many students feel it can lack significance due to the test not affecting grades.
Other subjects and assignments are actually graded and they go towards my high school grades. They get sent to colleges and they're much more important than the standardized tests because standardized tests don't count towards your grades whatsoever.
When scores are released, districts use the results to evaluate strengths, identify areas for improvement, and even decide on funding priorities for the school. As testing wraps up, Costa will wait and see how their efforts reflect on the results. For the Mustang Morning News, this is McKenna King and Bryn Berry.
We have the answer to today's Costa Quiz.
The question was, how many people annually attend professional sports games in the U.S.?
The answer is B. 104 million annual fans attend professional sports games.
The North American sports market totaled $83.1 billion in 2023 and grows 3.2% annually.
Due to safety concerns at Waller Stadium, administration has implemented a new policy for fan seating. Nathan Inouye and Connor Bronson find out what makes up the change and how effective it's been this season.
Football games are a cultural staple of high school, drawing large crowds of students and families to each game. However, safety concerns in the past season recently inspired changes to high school football viewing policies at Costa. Just a month ago, 2 health emergencies occurred during games, and emergency services struggled to reach individuals due to overwhelming foot traffic.
Because of so many people standing through Stadium Way, so our security couldn't get to them. The SRO officers, the admin team had trouble getting to the exact location where the emergency was happening. So after that game, we decided that we needed to make some changes and make it more safe for everyone that was attending the football games.
But this wasn't the first time that the administration had to regulate viewing policies. In 2022, MBUSD students were caught yelling racial slurs and throwing things at the opposing Culver City cheerleaders, which inspired the district to prohibit MBUSD viewers without an adult and require student identification. Now, in addition to restricting re-entry to football games, recent changes in viewing policy include access to specific areas near Waller Stadium being restricted or prohibited, and students are no longer allowed to gather on Stadium Way. The latest game showed the effectiveness of these policies, as incidents were significantly reduced, allowing fans to enjoy the experience without disruption.
Since the new policy for Stadium Way, I felt like me and the students have felt more engaged in the games compared to when people were walking on Stadium Way.
Yes, I actually think they were very successful. We had lots of really parents and adults that were attending the games. They feel it's safer. They feel like they can walk through without having to weave in and out of students. They feel like it would be safe if there was an emergency that people could get through.
As high school football evolves, these measures prioritize safety while preserving the community spirit that makes these events special. With the Mustang Morning News, this is Nathan Inouye and Connor Bronson.
That's all for today's show, but make sure to check out our Instagram at Mustang Morning News.
Thanks for watching, Mustangs, and have a great holiday season.